Hi, I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman, and we're about to have a
Michigan's Best Day here in Marshall, Michigan.
Today I'm going to show you why you should follow the signs off the freeway to check out this town on your next journey across southern Michigan.
And I'll be talking with the family behind a restaurant that's been in operation for more than 100 years.
Now Marshall's kind of a small town, John. So you know what that means.
There's a bakery nearby?
You guessed right. We've visited a lot of bakeries across Michigan, but there's always something special about starting your day off with a sweet treat. And 5 days a week, you can do just that at Louies Bakery. Every morning since 1952, the store has been frying up your favorites from scratch, but there's one donut that steals the show. Well, here they are, the famous nut roll.
We make the dough from scratch, and then it's filled with cinnamon and fried. And I think deep frying anything is a good way to start. This is a roll frosting, and we make that from scratch as well. And then we also get raw peanuts in, and we roast and grind all of our own peanuts.
And so this is your #1 seller here at Louies Bakery.
Far and away our #1. My grandfather, Louis, he came here with Fort Custer. He was in the military, and he met my grandmother, so he decided he wanted to stay here, and he was a baker. This shop became available and was pretty successful making nut rolls. And then in 1976, he expanded to more than triple the size of the building to where it is today.
Marshall is one of Michigan's oldest towns and came so close to being the state capital that they even built a governor's mansion here in 1839. History is something you can't escape in this town. The Historic Landmark District has over 750 historically significant buildings, including one that looks like it belongs on the beaches of Hawaii. The Honolulu House is open for tours Friday through Monday. Inside, you get a peek into affluent life in the 19th century. The home was built for Abner Pratt, a judge turned diplomat to Hawaii. The elaborate Polynesian design was meant to mirror a Hawaiian royal palace. There is no wallpaper on this first floor. This is all paint.
Correct.
That's incredible.
And where you see gold, it was original gold leaf.
It's been extensively restored.
The restorations began in the 1960s, and the painting restorations were done in the mid-1970s into the 1980s. But we've estimated about $1.5 million has been spent on this restorations.
The history doesn't end at the houses in Marshall. It's also home to several incredibly unique museums that give you a peek into the past. A short walk across the street from the Honolulu House, tucked behind an auto repair shop, you'll find the Walters Gasoline Museum. Housed inside the city's former railway depot, the collection of the late R.C. Dick Walters Jr. gives you a look at the history of the old school service station. If you're an automotive lover, this collection will be a walk down memory lane. Admission is free, you just need to call ahead. Before cars were guzzling gas, horses ruled the road, and your mail was delivered in this. On the east side of Michigan Avenue, below the Marshall Post Office, you'll find this museum dedicated to the history of the American Postal Service. Michael Schrag started the collection when he was the town's postmaster. 4 decades later, it fills the entire basement and an annex building where a vintage 1931 Model T mail truck is on display. With thousands of items, it's the second largest postal museum in the country, after the Smithsonian. After you drop your postcard in the mail, head across the street for a little hocus pocus. Here at the American Museum of Magic, you can see memorabilia from Houdini, Keller, and Blackstone. In 1978, Robert Lund, a reporter turned magic historian, opened this archive of abracadabra.
We have tens of thousands of memorabilia here. Every poster in here is original artwork. There are no reproductions, and lots of great stuff, such as our Houdini collection. This is one of only 3 milk cans in existence.
Okay, the milk can totally creeps me out.
You're locked in there.
That's a no thank you. And you have some different things upstairs.
We have Penn and Teller suits upstairs. We have Doug Henning's zigzag machine.
The museum is open Wednesday through Sunday and costs $5 for adults and $3.50 for kids. If you come on a Saturday, there's a magic show at 1 p.m.
There is no greater reward in the world than making somebody happy, even if it only lasts for the 2 minutes that the trick lasts. That's worth its weight in gold. Did you feel it happen?
I felt the magic. While Houdini was traveling the country performing tricks, Albert Schuler was starting what would become one of Michigan's most iconic restaurants.
He started making heritage cheese spread in the 1980s.
Right. And this is the cheese spread that's going to come out on every table when they arrive to dine here at Schulers, right?
That is correct. And then we also sell it. Before the 1980s, the cheese was served as a complimentary snack on the airlines. And so it was part of what helped the Schuler name go across the country and people become acquainted with the cheese. The idea was they wanted to give people something to snack on when they came in, something immediately at their tables to start enjoying. We do have our bakery right in front of us as well. And so we do make the crackers from scratch every day.
Well, Schulers is one of the most iconic restaurants in Michigan, and I think what sets them apart, in addition to making everything homemade, is that their dishes are really iconic as well, and that prime rib is the thing that they are really well known for. And it is perfect, isn't it?
Cheers.
Oh my God, it's so tender.
It is so tender.
It's so flavorful.
Oh yeah, tons of,
Oh my gosh.
of flavor in each bite.
Definitely want to save room for dessert here at Schulers. They're known for it. One of their most famous ones is the pecan ball, and what sets it apart are those freshly roasted sugared pecans that surround the whole outside, and then it's floating in a pool of hot fudge. Awesome. What do you have, though? You have something really special.
Yeah, this is their Bake Alaska.
It's complimentary if it's your birthday or anniversary. That is really cool. Thank you, Schulers.
Whoa, that is so good.
This is fantastic. It does taste like the nuts from the fair, like it's their little cinnamony sugar. That hot fudge is so good, though. Downtown Marshall really is a trip down memory lane, and the shopping along Michigan Avenue is no exception.
Well, I know the town's original two-screen theater still shows first-run movies.
And then there's old school hardware stores and pharmacies that remind you of a time before there were strip malls. You definitely want to check out these locally owned gems because you never know what kind of treasures you're going to find in a place like the Mole Hole. This gift shop has been family run for more than 40 years. You can even ask to hear a tune on their historic Barton Theater pipe organ.
Dark Horse Brewing opened in 1997 and has grown into a business about much more than beer.
The Dark Horse compound includes a motorcycle shop, woodworking shop, coffee roastery, bakery, creamery, and even a tattoo parlor. But they're best known for their beer, which is brewed on site and distributed across Michigan and the northeastern United States. Enjoy a pint in their spacious beer garden, along with a wood fire pizza and some live music.
Marshall is a town full of history, great people, delicious food, and awesome beer. It has all the makings for a Michigan's best day.
We'll see you on our next Michigan's Best adventure. Cheers.
This episode of Michigan's Best Day was brought to you by the Michigan Retailers Association, which encourages Michiganders to support their communities by shopping at nearby retailers.